is it still worthwhile to stake HEX in a bull market? What do you think, Neil?
If because of PulseChain, I would say short-term stakes are probably pretty good. If you want to accumulate HEX, just do some short-term rolling stakes and your personal time horizon, so you don't get trapped in a stake when the price appreciates. I think we all learned that if you staked HEX, let's say you bought it 10, 15 cents a while back and you staked it, you're stuck for a while, right? You missed out on the 50 cents. Now you have to wait for the next time it goes up. Yeah, you have more HEX, but you need to be, when you exit, you got to be higher than you bought it or close to higher. So I would say just if I was going to go into HEX now at cheap rates, I'd just do short-term rolling stakes and just wait for price appreciation, because I think people regret being staked for so long through at least the initial. Let's say you were early HEX skin and you staked, all your stuff was like for long-term stakes. Well, I was like, well, you missed out. Yeah, you'll get rewarded in 15 years or 12 years or whatever, but you're missing out now. So if you had some liquid capital, you can then earn some money and reinvest that in, let's say, PulseChain or PulseX or Inc. or whatever. Then you could diversify your portfolio to average out your gains and then take some profits now and then have future profits later.
I think that's the hard part too. Is you can lock up the most T-shares when the price is the lowest. But then when the price is the highest, you don't get as much T-shares. So with the staking, it's almost like you have to make this choice, right? Like either your time horizon is much farther in the future if you're getting the T-shares cheap and staking them long term, or if you have the coins, if you're thinking, okay, this is the bull market, I'm going to lock some coins up for the bear market, you're kind of trading those T-shares, or again, just pushing out your time horizon. So I think either way, it comes back to, when do you want access to liquidity? Do you want access? I mean, then you could say, okay, well, you could do an HSI, and then maybe, but it's kind of like, okay, save yourself from yourself. That's the thing it takes away too, but also gives you the option for liquidity, because you can recycle through ICOSA, assuming ICOSA is doing well at the time too, through the HSI market or through the auctions. So it's one of those hard decisions of like, it almost needs to be, just the way I think about it. When I think about staking, it is, especially the past year or so, I've talked about, like, I've never made so many stakes. I've never locked up so many cheap shares before ever, after seeing, the price being so depressed over time. But that was, I guess the decision there is, if you lock them up, again, the short rolling stakes, or if you're doing the bear market, locking them up until the end of the bull market or somewhere in that approximation, where whatever you think it is, you're kind of timing the market there, but you kind of got to play with that, if that's the route that anyone goes. And then otherwise, it's kind of like you're just pushing it out, right? You're just pushing, okay, well, in the future, I'm going to lock up the T-shares, and then in 5, 10, 15 years, whatever it is, I'm going to preserve this. I'm going to get all the T-shares, and then it's going to accumulate the yield. And I think the price is going to be XYZ in the future. That's the way I think about it, at least.
Yeah, it's hard. Nobody can predict the future. It's just a matter of personal decisions. A staking ladder is a better option for most people. Just do it on a monthly basis, then do it yearly basis, or chunks of months, quarters, or whatever. If you want to accumulate these HEX pretty cheap right now, if that's your goal, right? Again, you're gambling every time, because you know what HEX is going to be in 3 months, right? It's the same price you have paid for it, or but PulseChain is cheap enough to do these stakes on. It's not, you're not spending a whole lot of gas, so therefore it's easy to do these things, make staking ladders. I mean, as we get rolling, if you have a diversified portfolio and using the tools on the blockchain and DeFi, you can be taking a portion of your yield to make staking ladders. It's not that complicated. I know it's manually aggravating, and eventually we'll have the automation tools out for Tetra to do this for you, but I just don't think people are thinking in a diversified way. I think everybody's just so emotionally affected by the price that they're not seeing the opportunities that present themselves on the blockchain as they sit right now.